Gita, Then and Now, Chapter 14, Above the Gunas, Rising Beyond Nature's Traps. Part 1, You are being pulled, can you feel it? Focus, recognizing the subtle energies driving your moods and behaviors. Word count, 830 words, merged flow, final CTA at the end. You're being pulled, can you feel it? Gita Then and Now, Chapter 14, Part 1, The Invisible Strings of Life. Sometimes you feel light and clear, ideas flow, energy hums, life feels vibrant. Other times you feel restless and scattered, anxiety buzzes, tasks multiply, you chase distractions. At moments you feel heavy, numb, stuck in inertia, resistant to change. These shifts feel mysterious until you learn about the Gunas. In Chapter 14, Krishna reveals the three fundamental forces that shape our experience: Sattva, purity, clarity; Rajas, activity, desire; and Tamas, inertia, dullness. He says these forces govern all thought, emotion, action, and yet we rarely even know they exist. Then, Krishna explains that every action, every impulse, every mood is influenced by these three gunas. Sattva brings calm and wisdom. Rajas fuels ambition and restlessness. Tamas drags you into resistance and confusion. And everyone is bound by them until you recognize them. One who sees the gunas as binding and learns to rise above them, that is a true seeker, says Krishna. Because the ropes of nature are invisible, but they hold us tightly if we don't look. Now, you might not know these Sanskrit words, but you feel the effects. You wake up energized one morning, Sattva, exhausted another, Tamas, and driven yet another, Rajas. And you ask, why this unpredictability? Instead of just asking how to survive it, Krishna's teaching encourages you to ask, why? Why does my clarity fade when the world demands more? Why do I chase validation when insecurity rises again? Why do I resist when growth asks me to move? The answer lies in noticing the pull, the invisible string, of the gunas at work. Then, Krishna outlines how each guna operates. Sattva brings knowledge, ease, harmony, leading to lightness and understanding. Rajas pushes for movement, desire, craving, leading to effort, ambition, unrest. Tamas invites heaviness, resistance, ignorance, leading to stagnation, fear, confusion. More importantly, Krishna says, none of these are bad in themselves. Their problem is in attachment. When you identify with a mood, a role, a result, you solidify that guna into destiny. Now, imagine you're in a creative flow, writing, singing, coding. That's sattva. You feel centered, inspired, effortless. You're connected to meaning. But then emails ping in, your phone rings, expectations rush in. That's rajas. You shift. Suddenly you're anxious, reactive, chasing outcomes. Then it's late night. You tire. You scroll mindlessly. That's tamas. You disconnect, withdraw, pause, or freeze. And the next day you wake up groggy, tamas, overexcited, rajas, or mellow, sattva. It's not random, it's momentum. And it's not destiny, it's a cycle if you don't learn to master it. Then, Krishna teaches that one can become free by cultivating awareness and by consciously choosing. When sattva rises, surrender to clarity, anchor yourself in wisdom. When rajas rises, use its energy, not to feed craving, but to serve purpose. When tamas rises, rest, but not regret. Choose renewal. Above all, Krishna says, aim to transcend all three gunas, not by suppressing, but by integrating them, so they stop owning you. Now, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to begin noticing. When you snap at someone, pause. That's rajas pulling impulsivity. When you resist a change you know is needed, pause. That's tamas resisting discomfort. When you feel calm and clear, pause. That's sattva inviting wisdom. Notice without judgment, just observe. Say softly to yourself, that mood again. You don't need to escape the mood. You just need to witness it. This shift from being moved to being aware is the start of freedom. It means you are no longer fully entangled in the battlefield of moods. You are learning to stand above it. Then, Krishna says the true knower remains unmoved by the gunas, yet lives in harmony with them. They act in the world without being driven by it. They speak with kindness, not because of emptiness, but because of clarity. They rest when necessary, not out of apathy, but out of trust. And they refuse to be owned by their moods. Now, think about it. So much of our suffering comes from identification with feeling. We say, I'm anxious, but we don't ask why. We say, I'm unmotivated, but we don't ask why. We say, I'm stressed, but we don't ask why. And that lack of curiosity keeps you stuck. Chapter 14 invites you to become curious about your constitution, to understand the play, not to deny it, to respond, not to react blindly. Focus. This chapter teaches that liberation isn't a one-time escape. It's a steady rise above the forces that shape you, without denying them. It's about choosing clarity over chaos, wisdom over impulse, awareness over automation. You are not at the mercy of your moods. You are the awareness beneath them. And when you begin to live from that deeper seat, something shifts. Your decisions become calmer. Your presence becomes steadier. Your life becomes an expression of clarity. So next time you feel pulled, restless, dull, or hyper, ask, what is rising in me now? How am I being driven? And choose not reaction, but awareness. If this message opened a doorway to seeing your inner currents, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who's ready to begin rising above nature's traps.